Hello friends, welcome to my channel Welding and NDT. Our today's topic is magnetic particle test. So magnetic particle test is basically a non-destructive test method. Non-destructive test method. So before starting this video, I'll request you to please subscribe my channel if you have not done it yet, and also please hit the bell icon so that you will get regular updates on my new videos. Friends, I weekly upload two new videos. On Wednesday I upload a video in English, and on Saturday I upload a Hindi video. So I weekly upload two videos. So to get the regular updates you need to press the bell icon. Also I would request you to please hit like button if you really find my videos useful for your career or useful for your knowledge, and also share the link with your friends and colleagues. So friends, let's start the topic now. Now as I told you that magnetic particle test is a non-destructive test method. Here let me tell you the short form. In short, it is very popularly known as MT or MPI or MPT. MPI is nothing but magnetic particle inspection, and MPT is magnetic particle testing. So these are the short forms of magnetic particle testing. Now if I say it's a non-destructive test, means after test the component can be reused. The component can be reused, hence it is called as non-destructive test. Means we do not break the sample during the testing. We do not break, don't break, and that's why it is can be used as it is. Friends, if you want to know more about non-destructive test, and if you want to have some preliminary guidance about non-destructive test, then you can watch my video on non-destructive test. I'll put the link in the description box of this video. So now with the help of magnetic particle test we can detect surface as well as subsurface defects. So if I say surface, then you might be aware that if suppose this is the surface, then if there is any defect like crack or anything, surface breaking, then you can detect it by magnetic particle testing. But if I say subsurface, subsurface means nothing but the region below the surface. The area below the surface, just below the surface, is known as subsurface. Now what should be the extent of the subsurface? So it's depend upon the test methodology or the equipment you are using, but at the most we can detect defects up to 6 mm depth. Means the region below 6 mm of the surface we can detect with magnetic particle test. Now let's start. First I would tell you about where this magnetic part test is applicable. So you can use magnetic particle test only on the metals which can be magnetized, which can be easily magnetized. So if I say easily magnetized, it is nothing but ferromagnetic materials. Ferromagnetic materials means, see, ferromagnetic, sorry, what I'm writing, ferromagnetic materials. Yeah, ferromagnetic metals. Ferromagnetic metals are those which are strongly attracted, to a magnet, and it can be easily magnetized also. So this type of materials can be checked with magnetic particle test. Now let me give you a very brief idea of what type of materials can possibly be. First type is ferromagnetic materials. The second type is paramagnetic materials. So types of material from magnetic point of view. So paramagnetic metals are nothing but these are those which are weakly attracted. These are very weakly attracted, means they cannot be magnetized easily. So this type of materials cannot be checked with the help of magnetic particle test. The third type of material from magnetic point of view is diamagnetic particle. Diamagnetic particle or diamagnetic metal. So diamagnetic metal are those which are slightly repelled. These are not attracted, but these are slightly, not strongly, slightly repelled. REPELLED, slightly repelled by a magnet. So this type of materials also cannot be checked with the, it cannot be checked with the magnetic particle test. Now this was the brief idea. First I would tell you about the principle of magnetism, so that it will be easier for you to understand. What is the principle of magnetic particle test? Rather, I would say that principle of MPT. So if there is a magnet, one side we will have one pole, that is north pole, and the other side we will be having the other pole, that is south pole. This is a very general phenomena in magnets, that there will be one north pole and one south pole, and imaginary magnetic lines of force flow from north to south pole like this. So these magnetic lines of force, you can imagine, these are not visible, but these are present, and they flow from north to south. These are called as magnetic lines of force. Now, what happens if suppose there is a crack on the magnet like this? If we have a crack, then there is a phenomena in the magnet. This, at the crack, one more pole is generated, like south and north. So there will be poles, new poles will be generated, means these magnets will become two magnets, not single but two magnets, and at the crack there will be one magnet. So here we will have one pole and other pole, and at the cracks also poles will be shifted. Now what happens if I spray iron powder on the magnet? What will happen if we spray powder, iron in powder form? Then the powders are accumulated at the poles. This is a general phenomena, that if you spray powder on the magnet, it will get accumulated at the poles. Most of them will get attracted at the poles, and some will get aligned with the line of force, magnetic lines of force. So like this, the powder will be accumulated. Now if there is any crack, then new poles will be formed, or poles will be shifted here also. Hence, if we spray iron powder, then some powder will also accumulate here at the crack, and hence we may know that there is some crack. If there is crack, then so poles will be shifted, and poles will be shifted, the particles will be accumulated at the crack also. So with the help of this accumulation of particles, we will be able to get to know that there is some crack. Now friends, what happens at this breakage, or at this surface breaking, these magnetic lines of force, this is called as flux leakage. Magnetic lines of force will get distorted. Here they will get distorted, and it is known as flux leakage. And due to this flux leakage, it appears that pole has been shifted here, and the particles will align this at there. So friends, I hope you would have understood this principle. Now I'll give you a brief idea of the steps which are followed during magnetic particle of test. So if you have to do magnetic particle test, then the first and foremost work or step is surface cleaning. You have to clean the surface before doing the test. Means the surface should be free from any foreign material like oil, grease, rust, paint, any foreign material. So if I say foreign material, then these are foreign materials only. So the surface should be free from any foreign material. And why the surface should be free from foreign materials? It should be free from foreign materials to provide free mobility of the particles. See, we will use dry particles or wet particles for magnetic particle test. So those particles must freely flow on the surface. So in order to them to freely flow, the surface must be free from foreign metals. So after cleaning, it can be also called as pre-cleaning, means before test you are going to clean. So after pre-cleaning, the second step is magnetization. The surface which you are going to test, you have to magnetize. Temporary magnetization shall be there. So to magnetize, you need some instrument like electromagnetic yoke, prods, or cable, or permanent magnet. So these are some of the instruments through which you can magnetize the surface. Now I'll talk about these equipments later on. First, let me write the steps. After magnetization, the third step is apply magnetic powder. So you need to apply magnetic powder. This magnetic powder can be in the form of dry particles or wet suspended particles. So I'll explain these two also. First, let me write the complete step. The fourth step is inspection. So once you magnetize the item and apply the magnetic powder, if there is any crack or if there is any defect, then the powder will be accumulated at the defect. So after applying the magnetic powder, you have to do the inspection. So during inspection, you will check the surface for any accumulation of magnetic powder. If there is any accumulation, then you can assume that there is some defect. So after inspection, you need to clean the surface. So cleaning is very easy because these materials are non-toxic, non-hazardous, non-rusty, non-sticking. So it's very easy to clean. And then finally, you have to demagnetize the item. See, this is not a compulsory step. If the application standard or the applicable procedure says that you have to demagnetize the item, then only you have to perform this task. Otherwise, after cleaning, it's over. So you understood the steps. Now I'll give you a little bit more idea about yoke and prods. What are these things? I'll also speak about something about AC and DC. What is AC, DC, everything I'll explain here. So let's start. So first, prods. Prods are equipment by which you will magnetize the surface for the inspection. Like for example, this is the surface which we have to examine. So prods are nothing but two electrodes are there. Like this, two electrodes will be there, and these electrodes will be connected to electricity through some wire, and this electrical electrical current will introduce some magnetic field in the surface of this test part or the component which you are going to examine. So like this, there will be a magnetic field in circular pattern, and you can apply your particle and check the equipment, check the part. Now you have yoke. It is also called as electromagnetic yoke. In yoke, suppose this is the part which needs to be examined. So electrodes, see, it is like this. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you about this. In prods, we use pressure pads. This is very important, pressure pads. See what happens. Proper contact of prod with the part is required. If there will be no proper contact, then chances of electrical arcs or electrical arcing will be there, which is undesirable. We do not want any arc over here. So to prevent this arc, we need pressure pads here. Pressure pads provides for better contact between the surface and the prods. and these two surface can be connected also like this. These two prods can be connected also, but the magnetic field is generated in this manner. Here let me make one more figure. This figure is not, you will not be able to understand with this figure. So see, like this we have a yoke. This is also connected with the electricity. These yokes, the legs are flexible. Here some hinged mechanism is there. So with the hinged mechanisms, you can adjust the space between the yoke. And in yoke, one leg acts as north pole, other legs acts as south pole, and the magnetic lines of force will flow in this manner. Now friends, what happens? See, either prod or yoke or any instrument used for magnetizing, we can use two types of current. One is AC and the second one is DC, alternating current and direct current. So basically the alternating current is limited to surface only. It is limited to surface only. It doesn't penetrate the subsurface area. Means we can check only the surface with the help of AC current. Means it is not recommended for subsurface. This is known as skin effect. The surface can be assumed as skin, so this is known as skin effect. Now with the help of direct current, what happens? The current will be able to penetrate the subsurface area also. The current will be able to penetrate the subsurface area also. Hence it is recommended if you have to check the subsurface also. So this is the difference between AC and DC. Now you understood about yoke. So yes, if you are going to do the MPI, first you need to check whether your yoke is correct or not. So to check that yoke is correct or not, or the methodology which you are going to do with which you are going to do inspection, so that methodology is correct or not. So for that you can check the lifting of this yoke. See, if you are using AC current, then this yoke can lift up to 4.5 kg. Means suppose if the weight of this material is 4.5 kg, and when you will magnetize this part with the help of this yoke, then this yoke will be able to attract and lift this 4.5 kg specimen. So the lifting capacity in AC will be 4.5 kg and in DC it will be 18.1 kg. So this is the lifting capacity. Now second thing is field indicator. Field indicator is very important. Before checking the actual job, you need to check your methodology or check your instrument whether it is fit for do the inspection or not. So field indicators, many types of field indicators are available, like Katos ring, pi gauge, etc. So these are the field indicators. With the help of you can check whether your equipment and methodology is correct or not. For example, see, pi gauge is a coin, octagonal coin or hexagonal coin, in which 6 or 8 segments are there like this, and the back side will be plain. Back side will be plain, and on the front side you will see these 8 segments, and these segments acts as an artificial defect for us. Artificial defects. Now from the back side, if you will magnetize and apply powder, then the powder should align in the line of cracks like this. So if the powder is able to align in this pattern, then we can say that yes, our equipment is working and we can start inspection. Now friends, let us talk about the particles. See, two types of particles are there. One is wet and the second is dry. So the wet particles are mixed in some liquid or suspended in some liquid. That liquid is low viscosity liquid. Low viscosity liquid, like petroleum liquid, like kerosene. Kerosene is used, or many times water is also used. So in this liquid the powder is mixed and then applied over the surface, whereas in dry the powder alone is applied on the surface. See, sometimes this powder is coated with some color also, color coated. It is color coated for better visibility, and dry powder technique is useful for rough surface. Whereas wet suspension method is used, it is highly sensitive, means it is more sensitive than dry powder technique, and it is also very fast, and since the particle is mixed in liquid and then spread, hence we'll get uniform layer of particle. So some advantages and disadvantages are there of wet and dry particle. Now after talking about the types of particles, there are methods, several methods with which we can apply the particles on the surface. First is continuous, second one is residual method, and third one is prolonged method. So continuous method is nothing but particles are applied simultaneously when the part is magnetized. When part is magnetized. So it is this wet or dry, any type, any powder, it is applied simultaneously when the part is magnetized. Means you will start the yolk, and soon after starting the yolk you will apply the particle, means you will not switch off the machine. Whereas in residual, you start the machine, introduce magnetic field, and then switch off the machine, and after switching off the machine you apply the particles. Means particles applied, the part is magnetized. Once part is magnetized, the current is switched off and then particles are applied. This is residual method. And prolonged is very special kind of method which is used when the when the part which is to be examined is in overhead position. So in overhead position you will not be able to either apply particle, or you not be a wet particle or dry particle. So in that you need prolonged method. In prolonged method we use particles with high viscous liquid, high viscosity liquid. So when overhead particles has to be checked, we need prolonged particle. So friends, these were the steps. Let me show you the steps one more time. First one was surface cleaning, then magnetization. We spoke about yolk prod. See, there is come cable. I have written cable, but it is coil. Sorry, coil technique, and permanent magnet is also can also be used. Now we applied magnetic particle. It is particle. So we applied magnetic particle in form of dry or wet suspended liquid. After that, after doing all these things, suppose we are examining this welding. So if there is a longitudinal crack, then what will happen? The particles, if suppose from here to where there is a crack, so particles will be aligned like this. So we can measure the length of this crack also. Suppose if we have a crack in the parent metal, so the particles will align in the area of crack or in the area of surface breaking. So you can measure the length or dimension of the crack. So this is inspection. After applying the particle, you will thoroughly inspect the item. If there is any accumulation of particles, then that will be assumed as a defect, and you can measure the dimension of that defect. After doing this, you need to clean the item. So with this, our magnetic particle test is over. But if the applicable procedure says that you have to demagnetize the item, then you will have to demagnetize also. So basically demagnetization is not a part of MPT test, it is a separate portion. So if you want me to explain the steps or the concept behind demagnetization, please write in the comment box and I will make the video for demagnetization. I hope you like this video, friends. Thank you very much. Hello friends, today in this video I am going to demonstrate how to conduct magnetic particle inspection. It is also called as magnetic particle test, or in short it is called as MT, magnetic testing. So for magnetic particle test we need one electromagnetic yoke. See, this is our electromagnetic yoke. in my theory video or theory video of MPI, I have already told you about what is yoke, what is the significance of yoke. So I will not go in that much depth. I'll just show you how to conduct this test. So this is an electromagnetic yoke, and in this yoke we have two adjustable legs. Here you can see these legs can be adjusted. So depending upon the size of your job, you can adjust the leg length. Now again in this yoke you have a knob or a button. So by pressing that button you switch on this machine. So this is only for switch on and switch off purpose. And we have a two-way switch. Here you can see AC and DC written over here. So with this yoke we can use either alternating current or direct current, both. And the significance of using AC and DC I have already explained in my theoretical video, so I will not explain here. I'll just show you how to do this test. Now friends, to conduct this test, first we need one electromagnetic test, then we need some powder. This is dry iron powder, and this method which I am going to demonstrate is called as dry powder testing or dry powder technique. So for that we need this powder, and also we need to do some checks before doing our job. So our first check is the capacity of the magnetic flux. So that we can check by, if we are using in AC, so the lifting capacity in AC will be 4.5 kg. So I'm sorry, but I don't have a 4.5 kg block, otherwise I would have shown you. So if you are going to use this equipment in AC, it can lift or it is having a capacity of 4.5 kg, and in DC it should have a capacity of 18.1 kg. Now the second thing is check whether our machine is working properly or not. We need one field indicator, and here this field indicator is known as pi gauge, and in the pi gauge we have 8 segments. Here you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8 segments. So we have 8 segments in this pi gauge. This pi gauge is made up of highly permeable material. Highly permeable in the sense it can be magnetized. So on the opposite side, see, magnetic particle test is used to detect surface as well as subsurface defects. So this these segments will act as a defect for us, and from the opposite sides we will try to check whether these segments can be seen or not. So first we'll check from the opposite sides whether that can be checked or not. So we'll start the checking, and to check that we'll magnetize this pi gauge and we'll apply dry powder on this gauge. So to apply the dry powder, here we have a bulb. With the help of this we can apply. So first we'll magnetize by using this button. Now I'm going to magnetize, and I'll apply this powder. And now I'll apply the powder. So friends, here you can see these lines are visible here. Now, as I told you that 8 segments are there, but this line is not visible. Why this line is not visible? Other than this, all are visible. It is because, see, if I am putting my yoke in this fashion, then the magnetic flux will be flowing in this manner. Hence, in magnetic particle testing, the cracks or the defect which are perpendicular to the magnetic line of flux can be detected. So perpendicular are highly detected, and the defects which are at 45 degree, that can also be detected. So here you can see this is perpendicular, so it can be detected, and these lines are on at 45 degree or near to 45 degrees, so these lines are also visible. But this line, since it is parallel to the magnetic lines of force, that why it is not visible. So now I'll change the direction of my yoke and see whether it is visible or not. So here I'm going to make it change the direction, and now I'll see. So friends, now you can see that now these lines here I kept like this, so these lines had become perpendicular, and these are very much visible. So this was just to demonstrate about the orientation of the cracks. Now we have clearly seen that our yoke is working. So I'll do my checking. And for checking purpose, here I am having one test coupon, welder qualification test coupon, and this is the back side of the test coupon, means this is the root pass, or after back chipping the root welding of this test coupon is there. So we'll check whether it is free from defects or not. So to check, we need to change the direction in both longitude. To check the longitudinal as well as transverse crack, we need to check in this manner, so that we'll be able to check defects in all directions. So now I'll start my checking. I'll magnetize and blow the powder over here. This excess powder, we can blow it off with the help of a blower, but here I don't have a blower, second blower, that's why I'm not able to blow it out, but I'll try to detect this way. So friends, here you can see some indication over here. So this is a defect. Now we can measure the length over here. So like this we can do our checking. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much. Our today's video is about magnetic particle inspection, and in this video I am going to show you practically how to do magnetic particle inspection with wet powder technique. So for that we need an electromagnetic yoke. I'll show you the electromagnetic yoke. See friends, this is an electromagnetic yoke, and this electromagnetic yoke we have a turn on and turn off button. With the help of this we can switch on the power or switch off the power. And in some yokes we have, see here, AC and DC, both option is there. In some yoke AC or single DC is there, but here in this yoke we have both the options available. The significance of AC and DC I have already explained in my theory video, so if you have not watched that video, I'll put the link in the description box, and from there you can understand what is the significance of AC and DC and what are the methods through which we magnetize a test piece. I've already explained that with the help of yoke, prod, coil. So many methods are there to magnetize the test piece, but today in this video I'm going to use this yoke, and this is very popular in the industry. In the yoke we have two adjustable legs. Here you can see you can adjust the length according to your job piece requirement, and along with this yoke we need wet powder. So here we have a wet powder, and we will mix this powder in water. So here I have already mixed this powder in water and I have kept in a bottle, but for better results you should use a spray, but due to limited resource I don't have a spray, that's why I am using this. So first of all we need to check that our equipment is correct or not. For that we need a field indicator, and here our field indicator is a pi gauge. So in pi gauge we have 8 segments. So if you can see here we have 8 segments over here, and these lines of segments, this acts as defect for us, and if you see the back side, the segments are not visible. So as you know that MPI is suitable for surface as well as subsurface defect. Subsurface is nothing but the surface near to the surface. So here in this case we'll check whether these lines or these artificial defects can be visible from the back side or not. So first we'll check whether it is visible or not. If these lines will be visible, we'll assume that our equipment or our process is correct, and then we will proceed for the inspection. So for that I'll put the pi indicator here, and I'll magnetize the item from this side. So here I am starting the magnetizing. Here I have magnetized the item. Now I'll spray the wet iron particles. So friends, here now you can see those segments are visible here. If you will carefully observe the segment, this segment is not visible. This line is not visible, except this line, or lines are visible. So why this is so? This is because the defect parallel to magnetic lines of force cannot be detected with the MPI. And as I had kept my yoke in this manner, so the magnetic lines of force was in this direction, and this line which is not being seen on the pi gauge is also parallel to the magnetic lines of force. That's why it is not visible. But the line which is perpendicular clearly we can see, and the line at an angle of 45 degree or nearby areas we can see. So from this we can conclude that we have to check in all the directions if we have to conclude that whether this item is defective or not. So let's first check if I'll change the direction of this yoke, and I'll check whether from this side that is visible or not. So friends, here you can see that from this side this line is very clearly visible, but now that has been disappeared. So our conclusion is that we have to check from 2 directions at least to detect or to completely inspect an item. So now, as of now, we have calibrated our equipment, and now we can it is very sure that our equipment is working because these lines from pi gauge are visible. So now we'll start checking our test piece. So for inspection I have taken a welder qualification test coupon, and this is the back side of the test coupon. So before inspection we have to make sure that our item is fully clean, and as I have already cleared this item, but once again I wiped it out. So now we'll start the checking. But in wet method we have an option of contrast, means we can use contrast for better appearance of defect. So first I'll spray contrast. See here, snow white contrast course. So we have a contrast. Now I'll spray this contrast. So thin layer of contrast I have sprayed. Now we'll check this surface. So friends, we apply contrast for a better visibility of defects. That is not compulsory. Now I'll start magnetizing the component, and will apply the wet particles on the desired area for inspection. So like this you can also do your inspection You have to magnetize the component and apply the particles. In magnetic particle testing, it is very important that you do the inspection simultaneously also, because chances of indications getting removed is also there. So while magnetizing and applying the dry or wet particles, you should do the inspection simultaneously also, and at the last also you can do, but simultaneous inspection is also very much required. So like this, here I am doing the inspection also, and magnetizing and applying the uh, wet particles also. So like this you can also do. So now we are coming to the end. You can see the movement of my yoke. I have tried to make it at 90 degree from each other. This, so this is the last part, and I think we have covered this test component. Now it's time for a complete examination. So friends, here you can see indications at the toe of this weld. So prominent indications can be seen at the toe. This is most probably undercut. It was even visible before examination also. But here one more very significant defect you can see. This is looking like a center line crack, and it is on the welding itself. It is a very long crack. So you can measure the dimension and the distance from end of this test coupon, and you can report it. Other indications are also there on the toes. That also you can report it. So friends, this is how you can do the complete inspection. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.